My husband and I met on an escalator going in opposite directions. He said, "Hey, Texas, wait for me at the bottom." I was startled at his commanding voice, and I stepped off the escalator and actually waited for him at the bottom. "How did you know I was from Texas?" I asked him. He pointed to my conference badge on the shape of a Texas. We stood there and we chatted for a few minutes, and he finally accompanied me to the next session where I was speaking. A year later, my company did some technical writing programs at his organization. And then 3 years later, when his company merged with another, he called me during his job search, and we batted around ideas for how he might conduct that search. As it turned out, he loved our training program so much that he eventually accepted a position with our training company. A year later, we discovered that we had a lot more in common than work. Now, all backstories end in romance and marriage, but they do make for strong connection. Here's why. Your backstory provides context if you intend to influence other people. Consider the backstory as the context and the gateway for your communication and connection. Webster's defines backstory as a story that tells what led up to the main story or the plot. Bits and pieces of the backstories may be revealed as the primary plot moves along, or occasionally none of the backstory ever finds its way into the primary movie or the novel. It serves only to help the writer reveal character, the personality, the personality's motivation for whatever action they take. Your organization and the employees had a backstory before they ever joined forces with you. Your customers and suppliers had a backstory before they ever became your customers and suppliers. Your coworkers had a backstory before they ever pooled their talents and joined your project. Using another person's backstory as a frame for your message can be a powerful way to unlock their heart quickly. Not always applicable in business situations. And in the earlier example, we see how long it can take to get to the heart and move them to action. The case with my husband. Disregarding the backstory of the other person can be disastrous. That backstory provides powerful context for the current situation. It's a backstory for their motivations, their needs, the problem analysis. Entrepreneurs often write their backstory in an autobiography. They tell what shaped them from their earliest beginnings, through their startup days, all the way through their successful sell of their business for the big bucks. Other organizations sometimes create the backstory from their business venture alone, from the startup to their overnight success with the business. Some organizations put their backstory on YouTube or in their brochure, or you even see their backstory in their TV commercial. These backstories often brand a business, building passionate fans and strong loyalty that really can't be explained any other way. Think Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. Think Sarah Blakely and Spanx. That backstory is often positive or negative. Think Travis Kalanick and Uber. In general, businesses have one of several storylines. Like we need, and we saw a need and we filled it, or sometimes the backstory is, gee whiz, we built this cool widget and everybody just broke down our door to get one, who knew? Sometimes the backstory is, we're a no-frills business that has grown from ground zero to gazillions due to hard work, customer focus, and smart decisions. If you want it done well at a fair price, just call us. Basically, individuals have one of 6 major framing backstories with hundreds of variations. See where you fit in. One of the backstories for individuals is something like, I accepted an entry-level position, and I've worked my way up all the way through corporate ladders, through blood, sweat, and tears. Sometimes the story is I took the job they offered me, I did it well, I linked up with a VIP who took me along for the ride all the way to the top. Sometimes the individual backstory is I'm your average X with good skills, good education, good judgment, hard work, solid decisions, and good mentoring at a great organization has paid off. I'm pleased with where I am, and I've accomplished a lot. Sometimes the individual backstory is my career looks more like a dartboard than a path. I've changed jobs and industries like some people change clothes. I'm always looking for the next bright, shiny adventure. Sometimes the individual career path is gee whiz, this great assignment or project just dropped into my lap. Who knew it would gain such high visibility? Who knew it would turn out so well and earn me this great big promotion? Sometimes the individual story is this cool idea just hit me one day, and lots of good luck and hard work and the right market at the right time, but no way could anybody have predicted this kind of phenomenal. It just happened for me. Add your specific details to these general frameworks and you have a unique backstory that touches people emotionally, and it makes them want to root for your success. Backstories deliver a strong impact because you demonstrate to people that you trust them fully with your personal details. As customers, co-workers, or suppliers, they identify with you and they feel your trust. You have opportunity to influence them in a meaningful way. But now too much information, or TMI as the teens refer to it, has become an acronym for good reason. Erring on the side of giving inappropriate information can repel rather than connect you to your colleagues and your team members. This syndrome, the TMI syndrome, typically strikes after hours, at company parties, when someone becomes inebriated enough to loosen the latch on their good judgment and on their tongue. On the other hand, other leaders lean too far in the opposite direction, not wanting to share any personal information about their lives with their staff or with their team members. One member of a team recalls working for a boss whose mother had just passed away. Although the boss did take off time for the funeral, she never even mentioned to her close working colleagues why she left the office that day. Possibly this boss had a bad relationship with her mother and she feared being questioned about it. Maybe she feared her team members would express unwanted sympathy and she wouldn't know how to handle that sympathy, wouldn't know how to handle the situation. In any case, withholding such personal yet visible situations from your team creates emotional distance in a colleague relationship. It says, I don't want to trust you with my humanness. The only interest and the only interactions I want to have with you are work-related discussions. Not a warm, fuzzy message to give to other people. Communication, the human connection, is the key to personal and career success, according to Paul J. Meyer, the American entrepreneur and inventor. And that personal connection often sets up a strategic relationship strong enough to weather economic, competitive, or political storms through the years.